of weeks ago, I bought some beautiful flowers. They had big, pretty white and pink petals, and they made me happy every time I looked at them. But then one day, I came home to this. My beautiful flowers had died. I tried to bring them back to life again. I gave them some more water and some plant food, and I put them in the sunshine. But it didn't work. They didn't come back to life. Nothing I did could bring them back to life. It was so sad. Now, I know I'm not the best gardener, but the thing is, even the best gardener or the best plant expert in the whole world couldn't bring these flowers back to life. It's so sad. And it's the same with people, isn't it? Real life isn't like Mario Kart. In Mario Kart, if you die, you just come back to life again. You fall off Rainbow Road and you just pop back on again. You get squashed by a giant boulder and then you just come back alive, good as new. But real life isn't like that. In real life, if you get squashed by a giant boulder, you die. And sadly, not even the best doctor in the whole world can bring you back to life. You see, in real life, death is the saddest thing in the whole world. And we can't stop it. But imagine if there was someone who could give you new life after you died. That would be someone you'd want to know, wouldn't it? Now we have been hearing all about Jesus and his amazing power. How he stopped a mighty storm and got rid of evil spirits. And the people who heard about Jesus doing all of these amazing things knew that he had the power to help them. And so one day, a man came to Jesus begging him for help. Watch this and see what happened.
Everyone had been waiting for Jesus, and when he came back, a crowd was there to welcome him. Just then, the man in charge of the Jewish meeting place came and knelt down in front of Jesus. His name was Jairus, and he begged Jesus to come to his home because his 12-year-old child was dying. She was his only daughter.
The man was desperate. He was scared. He loved his daughter so much, but she was really poorly and no one could make her better. Well, maybe Jesus could, but he'd have to be quick because she's dying. So Jesus set off to go and help the man's daughter, but there was big crowds of people all around him, all wanting him to help them. He had just stopped to heal a sick lady when something terrible happened.
Someone came from Jairus' home and said, "Your daughter has died. Why bother the teacher anymore?" When Jesus heard this, he told Jairus, "Don't worry, have faith, and your daughter will get well." Jesus went into the house, but he did not let anyone else go with him, except Peter, John, James, and the girl's father and mother. Everyone was crying and weeping for the girl.
It was too late. The man's daughter had died. Jesus hadn't got to her in time. Everyone was so sad. Death is the saddest thing in the whole world. Everyone there was crying because the little girl they loved so much was dead, and just like with the flowers, there was nothing they could do to bring her back to life. It was impossible. But then, the most amazing thing happened.
But Jesus said, "The child isn't dead. She is just asleep." The people laughed at him because they knew she was dead. Jesus took hold of the girl's hand and said, "Child, get up." She came back to life and got right up.
Jesus did the impossible. The little girl was dead, but Jesus brought her back to life. No one is powerful enough to bring their dead back to life. We learned that with the flowers. But Jesus is, because Jesus is God. Nothing is more powerful than God. Not scary storms, not evil spirits, and not even death. And so as easily as we can wake someone up who is sleeping, Jesus woke this little girl up from death and gave her new life. That's why when the man heard that his little girl had died, Jesus said to him, "Don't be afraid, just believe." You see, Jesus loved this man very much, and he loved this little girl. And he knew, just like we know, that death is the saddest thing in the whole world. And so he didn't want this little girl to die. And he knew that he was the only one who had the power to save her and to bring her back to life. And so he was saying to that man, don't be afraid. She's gonna be okay. I can save her. You just need to believe. Death is scary. You might know people who have died, and you know that death really is the saddest thing in the whole world. But if you believe in Jesus, death doesn't have to be sad or scary, because Jesus saves people from death and gives them life. Jesus promises us that if we believe in him, he will bring us back to life after we die. But not like in Mario Kart, where you just get a chance to try again. The life that Jesus gives after death is a forever life with him. A life way better than this life. A life where everything is good and there is no more sadness or death ever again. You see, what Jesus did for this little girl is just a little taster to get us ready for what is coming later. Later, the saddest thing ever happened to Jesus. He died. But he did not stay dead. Just like he brought that little girl back to life, Jesus came back to life and showed that he had defeated death once and for all. When Jesus rose from the dead, he took away death's scariness. He did what no one else can do. He made a way for us to have life after death because he loves us so much. And all he asks us to do is just believe. So why don't you take some time to pray now? Thank Jesus for dying and defeating death so that you could have life. And then pray that Jesus would help you to believe. Then you can click here and sing all about the super saviour who saves us even from death.